Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. So, Plumber and Alex have pulled it out once again, and we have another turn. Wow, I didn't think I'd be back so soon, but here we are. It is in fact a good thing that I'm not busy with studies as of yet, so I do have time for this sort of thing, so I don't know what that says about me, but at least it says that the game continues, so that's good. We will have the British join here today, so let me go ahead and bring the game up over here. Once again, I hadn't completed all my turns because all my actions because I didn't assume that I'd be doing a turn just a few hours later, but hey, here we are. We get to go over things and just make sure. To be fair, there's not all that much left to do, just need to make a few decisions and go from there. So let me go ahead and get a very loud advert. That's a good thing. That was a good way to start. How you doing there? No, yes, another daily double. That means double the likes. Double the excitement. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and continue over here. As we discussed, we were, an RN, at least I was, about building heavy artillery over here. Decided to finally invest in the Austrians and finally build some new divisions. I do wonder if we'll get gas this turn. That's going to be the daily utterance of every turn. Is today the day we get gas twice? And it's probably always going to be yes, quite likely. We'll see about that. So I think what we need to do then with Hindenburg... The good news is I do have a growing stockpile of supplies over here. I do wish I had ammunition, of course, but I do have the rail lines to help bring supplies forward too, which is very useful. We do have a very large Russian army over here. Plumber was not particularly well pleased about being repulsed yet again, but... not a huge amount that can be done about that one, sadly. Right. I think I will send that corps over here just to reinforce. Now that we can move via rail, it does expedite the process quite mightily. Well, cavalry would be handy. I'm hoping that they can crack the rails over here, but we'll see about that. Though, in fairness, actually, with that being a cavalry corps, that wouldn't be a bad thing to have move out here. So we'll have a move out there. I just try and take control over here. If I could actually be in a position to where I can get to the rail line quite easily, that'd be good. The difficulty is going to come down over here, really. Like, I need to take control of the rail line. It is going to be a question of how. I was in an iron about what to do with the army of Conrad von Hotzendorf, but I think we are, of course, going to continue with the march to the north over here. I think it makes the most sense in the fact that I can get... I'm going to keep this army in reserve because it means I can actually have... a force continue to rest and build up cohesion again, which would be quite lovely. Now, I do have an army moving forward. We do have our force moving over here as well to engage with the Russian corps. Hopefully we can manage that. We're going to engage with Russian cavalry out here. We're going to consolidate our control over here. Then I'm going to have the Jaegers be made ready to be moved to fight in the Caucasus, really. Unless I use them in Serbia, against the Serbians to push them back quickly enough. We'll see. Just preparing for what is going to happen over here on the Western Front. Inevitably, we are going to be pushed. What I've issued orders then is for these three stacks over here is to fight, but not to fight too hard. Is if the... well, for the fact is, if the enemy is using gas, I don't want to take horrific casualties. I'd rather let the French have the field of battle and then come back. They could have Val-de-Moselle at this point. I do have at least enough forces to cover things for a decent extent, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I do need more men, really. More divisions, more full-blooded divisions, but our men have increased in power. Well, of course the Entente has as well, but at least we can make something of it. We will have the landings over here this turn, hopefully. It looks like they are going to be landing out here then, so hopefully that will go ahead quite nicely. I think I'm just going to remain here, really. I don't think he'd sally the Russian fleet out against the entirety of the German High Seas fleet. I think he's a little bit outdone on that one. It's difficult with the Austrian fleet because it's like I'd love to do something over here, but I can't really do too much unless I get in with the Russians. It could be interesting to take a look over here, really, just for a little bit of a fire up his arse, but I think at the end of the day I need to try and clear this. And considering using the minesweeper alongside some battleships and having it actually just utilised over here, it's hard to say, really. Like, there are forces here in the city, but I don't know if they have fortress guns. They could have some defensive guns, but I'm not too sure. I am looking forward to hopefully winning over there at Cars. If we can really establish full control of Cars, it does mean I can take the fortress. We are going to be releasing fortress guns over here, which should be most excellent. I can then utilize them against the fortress at Cars as well. So yeah, we're going to push forward, push over here, consolidating over here really. Waiting for forces to, I don't know, we'll see how things go over here. I'm going to attack over here. Hopefully regain my aircraft. I think I did lose them, but I'm not too sure actually. Maybe I moved them somewhere else, but I think I might have lost them. Or did I send them north? I can't bloody well remember. Sarajevo will go today, this turn anyway, because I don't have Jack there at Sarajevo. But that's okay. Frankly, I'd rather him not take these munitions, but I will have to do something about this soon. It's just not that big of a threat right now. So it really does come down to what I'm going to do over this way. So I think what we'll say is... I do have a fairly large core here. I'll have this core reinforced on the clock. Good amount of supply there too. I do have a reserve core over here. I'll have that join with Falkenhayn. Do have munitions here that need to head back. Right, building up munitions. Alright, okay. Might as well wait until they're full and then send them out. Yeah, I need more munitions over here. So I'll have them sent to Hindenburg. Hindenburg's munitions could be sent back. I tell you what, this is really quite the shell game. I'm going to take this cavalry over here, actually. Have that moved to Falkenhayn. Or do I have it moved to Falkenhayn? Yeah, we'll have that moved over here to Falkenhayn. I don't know if I actually gain all that much doing this. Maybe it's worth it, but again, I don't know. Probably not. Having the cavalry here, in fact, would be useful, because I could actually try and gain some reconnaissance on the army to the north. Well, over abreast. Supplies low there. I'll have this corps, in fact, moved over here. I don't really want the Russians to move in here, but there's not all that much I can do about it. So in fact, what I'll do is move a corps over here. He's not pushing me over here right now, but it is likely to change in the very near future. But right now, I just want to go ahead and just secure this rail line. It's not going to be long until I don't really need the rail line in the north. And actually, in fairness, I really don't need it right now, because I do have this rail line here. So we are beyond the point of greatest danger, which is very handy. I'm still going to hold on to this area though, because it is very useful to hold on to, of course. I'm going to have that leader moved over here, because he can actually command those two divisions there quite nicely. Just waiting on supplies. Need quite a lot of them. This division, this corps will be available soon enough. The siege continues over here. And I do have a siege over here as well. I do have some engineers here to help out. I should have really had the engineers from the army moved over here to help with the siege, but you know, it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead in the near future, once I don't know, we'll see how the situation goes. I'd like to have a super heavy artillery moved over here just to get that going, but I do have a siege general on the way, so I'll go ahead and give him the super heavy artillery and then have it rotated. I think I can definitely survive that. We do have our forces over here, so this corps is going to just begin, just basically remain here. I don't think there's a great deal of trouble, but I do want to be able to push, well, fall back if needs be. He could choose to press the center, but we'll see about that. If anything, that could be like a good commitment, and something that could actually maybe work to our advantage. Okay. So we have spent state funds, we've spent wall supply, we're sending a diplomat over here to Italy. I'm going to keep diplomats over here in Bulgaria and Romania. Party generals over here in the Entente, sorry, in Serbia. Entente generals, I should say. Interesting. Yeah. He's going to get a decent influx over here of resources from Japan. They may not be super... Well, to be fair, there's the armory, there's the steel, this is the arsenal, naval yard. He's got a decent bit that comes from Japan. More than other nations, anyway. He's got quite a large navy there, 2 battleships. Armoured cruisers, cruiser there. Enough destroyers and transports actually to move somewhere. So I fully expect to see the Japanese in Europe in the near future. I guess it's just going to go ahead and besiege over here. Makes sense, really. Yeah, we'll see about that. They'll be eventually moving over to Europe, I imagine. And to be honest, it would be kind of scary if they were to show up over here at, like, Persian Gulf. And there's every possibility that could happen. So you know what, there's not all that much I could do about that, but we'll have to see. If I could take Q8, that'd at least help out. I could try to defend these ports and make it a little bit harder for him. But, again, not all that much that could be done there. Okay. So... we have one more turn, surprisingly. I expected the British to be in this turn, but they'll be in next turn. And that's going to make things more difficult in the west, because that means there'll be even more forces out here in the west. So I'm going to have to recruit more divisions, or take men from the east and have them sent to the west. We'll see about that, really. I'm trying to pressure the Russians as much as I can, and see what we can do with it, really. I do have Hindenburg in an interest position. Hindenburg's like kind of at the centre of his nexus here. He's able to support a number of regions around him, which is very good. I just wonder where I can use him decisively. There's something to be said about engaging at Brest, because I could potentially... I don't know, it's difficult. I don't really want to engage at Brest. I want to try and pin the Russian army down, but I'm putting pressure on him over here. He is going to have to do something. I'm thinking he's either going to go to the north, but if I can break the rails today, then that's great. Or he's going to go down this way, which would be less great, but it does mean that I'm in a position to take Brest. Then once we have Brest, I can go from there, really. But either way, it puts him into an increasingly poor position. You also have to see what we can do about it, really. But we're trying to break the Russian morale, really. That is the aim of the game here. So we'll go forward. Let me make sure I've definitely saved here, because we did have a crash earlier on, and I would not like to see that happen again. Alright, so let's hope for the best. The British will join the war this day. I know I said that last turn, but inevitably they will join the war this day. There's literally no other option for them but to join the war this day. Which means that things will change. Alex will finally have the British in the west. He's gained the Japanese. He has the Portuguese. And we'll see, that's going to change the balance of force, really. Right, bombarding over here. Again. He's bombarding us. Lots of bombardments. Right, we are... Yeah. Plumbing is trying to make a go at holding on to cars. Right. Okay. So I do see a reinforced... Well, they inflicted some bloody good casualties over here. I think this army really is very low in cohesion. I don't know if we... Yeah, we didn't break the rails there. Okay, so we have a victory against the cavalry. Not many cavalrymen, only 50. Wow, okay. Well, that's very easy then to take out. Right. More Russians are moving to the Caucasus, but this is really, really good for us. This is most excellent for us. Oh, Brusilov has returned. Interesting. He may not enjoy that. We'll see. Yeah, he's not going to enjoy that. Damn. I think Plumber did mention that Brusilov wasn't meant to retreat, so I'm not too sure what happened there. But again, like, we are pushing him to like do things very quickly in the modern before work, so mistakes are likely to happen. But we have noticed that you do tend to see generals behave in peculiar ways at time, and they don't always correspond to the orders you have in mind. But we do hold the field of Chenoweth here today, and pretty good. I mean, again, these guys show themselves in mountains, and that is definitely where they fight back. Well, no, mountains and hills anyway, but that's where they fight very well. They also do have the trenches there. Yeah, not a good thing. And again, they were outnumbered. The army of Brusilov didn't really have much of a chance there. Okay. So the army of Affenberg defeats the core over here. Relatively minor losses. But the main thing here was to force them out of position. And we do lay siege now to Tarnopol once again. We do see Russians moving in over here at Dubno. We'll see how the battle goes there. Well, we're already at day 10. Seeing French move, but I'm not seeing... Right, we're finally seeing planes fly again. Will we see a battle here at Dubno? We'll see a battle over here, though. Right. Von Hotzendorf wins yet another victory here, which is great, because I wasn't too sure how that could go there. Well, it looks like we did have reinforcements here in the end. So, we lose 3,700, 11,000 casualties over here for the Russians. But again, this is a huge... again, more than 10... Well, not so much 10 times, but again, it does feel like it may as well be there. It's a large advantage in artillery there for the Austrian army. The reorganization over at Lemberg, some turns really in the making, over the winter period really, has borne fruit there really. We do push the Russians back again. This may not go in our favour, but indeed it does. Okay. Plumber's not going to be too happy, again. But we do win the second Battle of Dubno Forts, and I'm very happy about that. Interestingly, there's a river crossing penalty over here, so I wonder what had caused that. I'm hoping that our men were able to actually... wow, 315? What the fuck? How did they dig in so quickly? Okay, I'm a little perplexed by that, but we had a massive trench effectiveness bonus there. Not too sure how that could come about. Like, seriously, I do feel like Plumber's going to be pissed off at me. And most of the time, it's not me doing anything particularly different, it's just things working out that way, so... I don't know, maybe I'm a secret evil genius, or maybe I'm just really lucky, and I'm going to start to put it down just to luck, really. But yeah, we did manage to win a victory out here at Dubno, which is quite good. Not a lot of Russian casualties, but it does push the Russians back again, and it does importantly mean that we hold the field of Dubno again this day. Alright, the French again, Nancy, in Nancy. Alright, so comrades, cohesion's lowered now. Brusilov's still in the region. And no gas usage, I think? Not too sure. But a good day for us, a good turn all round. But honestly, we're still moving out of the winter period here. We may be finally moving towards the spring. But the true battles of 1915 are really going to be getting started soon. We've had some pretty beefy battles, but again, it is just getting started. So let me go ahead and save here. I'm going to go ahead and send that over to my colleagues. And they can go ahead and start working on their turn whenever they're able to. Which is what is very nice about this game. And we are going to be exploring other AGEOD games that we can go for play-by emails, and even other games as well that we could potentially try for play-by-email campaigns. I think AGEOD does have a very nice library and does cover quite a lot of very interesting titles and periods, really. So let's go ahead then. Let me bring the game back up. So we'll go ahead and we'll see the British in the war this day. If they're not in the war, then I would be rather shocked, but they are 100% in the war, I can say. I can't see them not being at this point. Yeah. So they'll be joining the war. Ah, actually, then in the... Oh, okay. Okay. So they are 100% in the war, but I don't think they've actually joined the war yet. They'll join next turn then. Nice. How you doing there, Noel? There is To End All Wars Ultimate Enhancement mod, but I haven't quite been able to get it to work properly yet. It's working using like an older version of the game. I'm trying to get it to work with the current version of the game, but the only difficulty is the fact that I can't see the message panel, and it's using the older engine, really, which is a bit of a shame. Did we land over here? Please say we did. Right, they haven't arrived as of yet, but they'll arrive next time. God damn, they are taking their sweet-ass time. It's 2 days, then we'll be there shortly enough. I'm not a big fan of the fact that we do have our fleet lingering out here so long. Right. Hango. Oh, and it's interesting, it's either misspelled as Hanko, because over here it says Hango. So I don't know who's right here. I'm going to say Hanko. We'll just go with Salo. I don't know. It's either one or all of them at the same time. But we do have... Yeah, fleet has bombarded. Landed 2 hits, suffering 5. So we are hitting the actual redoubt over here and causing damage to them, so that's quite good. Hopefully we can actually just destroy them. Yoshimatsu's fleet has bombarded us. Qingdao. We took 9 hits. We dealt 16 to them. At least we get to see how that translates. And yeah, you can see that... yeah, that coast artillery is being degraded pretty quickly here. So this position obviously will be gone very, very soon. There's just not two ways about that. But he's a good commander, or a relatively good commander. He's got good traits, this sort of thing. Colonial commander, admired commander, school of defense, and amphibious. At the end of the day, it comes down to whether or not he's just going to engage. We do see some changes in the Japanese. Yeah, Alex is becoming more aggressive now. Right, so I'm still not at war with the British as of yet, but it will be next time then. So I guess I guess I should be surprised then, because I... yeah, it is what it is. He's moving through here. He's taking the city of Van, but that's not really that much of a defeat there. Right. I think we are fairly strong in the field now. I am suffering from lack of supply. So I do need to make this happen soon. I do have heavy guns that are now available, which are extremely useful right now. Alright. Almost nobody is active. I really could have done with the armies being active here. Right. I am telling you that basically any supply that is available needs to head back. I do need to keep these men in the field. I may... Let's see. I can't quite see what's going on here. Did we score any hits? Did we... That's the enemy. Right, so there's no breach in the city. There's no point attack until I have that breach. So the fighting will continue. For a 1v1 AGEOD, the 30 Years War is pretty cool. Lots of turns, they go by quite quick, and the war sort of grows in scope. Yeah, that's so true. It's a good game, actually. It's been a long time since I played it, but it's a very interesting setting. And just a very interesting topic in general. Okay. Yeah. Well, things are progressing well enough for us, actually. So we were pushed back over here, so I was not able to... Yes, I wasn't able to cut the rail lines there, sadly. So he does still have his way out. I do wonder if he will take that way out. The army of Hotzendorf over here then did take the field today, which is very good. The Russian armies over here are definitely suffering. It looks like they're still in the field over here, 370. It could actually be worthwhile launching a counter-attack, so we'll go ahead and launch a counter-attack over here. As much as I'd love these men to rest, I really do want to pressure them even more. I do have this army over here. I may go ahead and actually issue an order to march there. That said, that this is not really a very strong army. It's really just a glorified course. I don't know if I want to go ahead and do that. I'd like to really build it up first and foremost. I'm not going to abuse my luck. I'm going to go ahead and do this properly. So I'll reinforce the core over here. It's going to take me 15 days to arrive, so that core should merge with them in 2 days, in theory. They should definitely be there in time, so I should in theory be able to move north there. We did push off the Russian core here. I'm looking at 123 power in that city. I'll wait for a breach and then assault. I really do need an army commander. Where'd my army commander go? Oh, there's the army, okay. Yeah, I could launch a counterattack once again here. The cavalry's broken through over here, but it's not too much of a problem, honestly. So what I'll do then is leave behind a core here. Right, or do I do that? I don't know. I think it'd be a very good opportunity to take on Brusilov here, so we'll go ahead and rail in there. I'll go for a sustained attack. I can also go ahead and chase down this cavalry. Now, that being said, let's see. I think what I'll go ahead and do is in fact reinforce this core over here. And then when I'm able to... well, actually, I'll tell you what. Let's go for something more audacious, actually, shall we? Like, I do just have a glorified core here. But I could have that same glorified core actually try to make a move out here. I mean, technically, I could arrive there in time. So we'll see about that. If I could actually make it there and cut the rail line, that'd be pretty... I mean, Brusilov's really engaged, and this is regular militia. I think this is actually entirely doable. I think Brusilov's just too committed now. I think it is, in fact, almost over there for Brusilov's army. See, the problem is as well for the Eastern Entente, the Russians are just taking hits when they are forced to retreat. I don't know, is it worthwhile just to assault and destroy their core? I think it's worth it to wait for the actual breach in the city, otherwise I'm just giving away a lot of free casualties, aren't I? Right, we'll push forward. That supply needs to head back to Lemberg. In fact, I'm going to take both of that supply. The munitions are a pain in the ass, though. Hey, doing that, Salty? Good to have you, my man. Now, Moscow would likely be an objective. Yeah. So Moscow is a Central Powers objective. The likelihood of us making it to Moscow is just so not likely to happen. I think the Russian Empire will collapse before we actually do get to Moscow, honestly. But we'll see. We'll push them as far as we can push them. Right, I've got additional supply here. Well, munitions, I should say. I do run through so many munitions every single bloody turn here. The next place I build a munitions factory has got to be over to Königsberg or something of that nature. Now let's see. This core is looking good. I do at least have supply stockpiles out here, so it's not too bad. In fact, the supply depot's there. Which kind of begs the question of, do I need to really move it? But I'll go ahead and move them over here. It does make it far easier to be able to move over here to take on additional supply now. Right, we didn't engage this core last turn, but we will engage it this turn. I'll go for a sustained offensive. Still waiting on these guys to surrender. Like, seriously, I'll get some heavy artillery or something of that nature over there in the future and just make sure we can actually take it. It will fall, and it's not the worst thing in the world to just wait for it to fall. It's not really costing me all that much. We did have the Austrians over here rebuild somewhat, which is good. I love how the cavalry looks. Looks so good. Right, there's part of me that thinks, oh, maybe it'd be worthwhile to maybe move this army here, but we'll see what happens. I think at the end of the day, I don't know, maybe I should assault here. I wait for that breach and then assault. But I think what I'll do then is have a core moved over here. I think just come what may, I need to have this supply line protected. We'll have von Brudermann launch an attack over here. And the Russian army over here is lower on cohesion. Our army is low on cohesion, but the Russians here are low on cohesion in general. And I don't think that's going to work out well for them. Yeah, day 14. So the Russian army retreats over here, taking 15 hits. And these are just hits that just add up. Dubno over here, 13 hits. He needs to just pull back, really. Right, they're active. We should have... Ah, there we go. We have another regiment of heavy artillery to send to the front here. There we are. The French definitely are building up in force. There's a lot of Frenchmen. Yeah. I don't know. In fact, I should really leave that commander in there. It just means that the forces will fight so much better there. So I do have this army over here of the Crown Prince, which is useful. To be honest, I could probably do like another army or two over here in the west, and we are going to have to make some pretty hard decisions about that. Like, when do I start to produce more men? We have at least started to an extent. Oh, goody. Munitions. I really bloody well need those. They need to, in fact, go to the command of Eugene von Osterreich. There we go, 17 days. So can't arrive immediately. But once we do get those munitions up to the front, we'll be able to fight with bonus again. Lemberg really has been the make it or break it of the Empire here. Oh, that's good. So we have forts. So we have hits inflicted to the fort over here. That's really good. This needs to be, yeah. How convenient. 0 hits. I need to get a... And that bloody cavalry is so sneaky. So sneaky. I keep trying to hit it, but it keeps getting away from me. I'm gonna have to move these munitions inside the actual walls over here. Just keep that protected there. Alright. Okay, so looking pretty good there. And again, as far as it goes, there's not all that much I can do here. It's very likely that the French have a spy. I don't know how you use spies, but I imagine they're being used where they can be used. But yeah, just a large amount of heavy artillery here. We do have 2,300 shells, which is good. I'm hoping to really build that up as much as I can. So yeah, I'm going to need that. I really would like to have the fleet withdrawn as soon as possible. I'm not afraid of them being defeated. They could be, technically. Like, their combat power is being diminished because we are running low on ammunition. But I do think there's such an overwhelming advantage that maybe it would be okay. Shows you just how much artillery you can put down range on targets. Right. I actually could gain some... Yeah, 13 hits, that is rough. I really would like to gain back... Oh, he's actually withdrawn from taking Sarajevo. He may feel that blood... Yeah, he's really building up there. Oh, fucking hell, we are seeing Russian forces here. Hey, doing that, Wesley? It wouldn't be a bad idea to actually invest in something quite substantial like that. But we are seeing... The Russians over here in Serbia now. Interesting. The problem is he's going to gain these munitions, which means he'll gain a boost of war supply, which is just god-awful, because it means I'm giving him something, and I really dislike that. Oopsie. There is going to be a fight over here. I can feel it in my bones. We will have to withdraw fairly quickly, but he is going to put the hurt in on us. And there's not going to be all that much I can do about it. The good news is that the Romanians will be joining us soon. Yeah, Romania's... Fucking hell, next turn. Wow. I guess I'm not surprised, because this is exactly what it should be like. But again, it's just nice with how quickly the turns are going, because it does feel quick. So I can actually just go ahead and take my diplomat back over here. And Romania will join the war next turn. Bulgarians haven't been swayed this turn. Well, I don't know if they'll join next turn. They'll go to 100. Or maybe I do keep the diplomat there, but it does guarantee that they do join the war. Because Britain's at 100%, but hasn't joined the war, so maybe you have to be above that. So in fact, look at it, oh, we have gas. I just noticed we have gas. Oh yeah, we have gas. Nice. That's nice, we have gas. Chlorine gas, bonus. Enemy units in target region have 20% chance of suffering minus 25% cohesion, plus 25% chance of suffering minus 2 health and minus 10% cohesion. May 6 attempts. May have 6 attempts, I'm not sure. 6 attempts, perhaps. Oh, interesting, it costs you... Oh, that's wild. I didn't realise it cost you national morale. Yeah, engagement point, national morale, war supply, and 50 victory points. Okay, so it's not that cheap to use there. Interesting. Oh, we gained support over here in Italy. Yes, one of your ambassadors increased support in Italy. Excellent. Okay, that's nice. The Russians are at 9% rebel alignment now. Yeah, they are transporting supply. Maybe over... Maybe during the winter it's just difficult for them to do so, which would make sense. Yeah, we failed to engage with enemy there. Let's see. Oh, there's a depot there, Van. Okay, that's a pretty good place for him to capture, because he's probably going to be starving now. Ooh, it's a good question. We can take a look at that. It just says just the one there. I can't help but feel he has withdrawn from Brest. It is showing another army over there, but I don't know. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. Probably not worth it. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up here today. So thank you for watching there, ladies and gents.